Hi there, everybody. Hope you can hear me. Hope you can see me. I've got a little 360-degree video here for you to look at beautiful Falls of Rough, Kentucky. Bill McNichol is here. This is great. Um, Thanks, Bill, for that message. Yeah. So, look, if you aren't familiar with me, my name is Hank Linderman. This is a little get together I do every day, Monday through Friday, called Getting Angry. Um, I'll explain that in a moment, but first I want to remind you I'm the Democratic nominee for Congress here in Kentucky's 2nd District. I can show you the district in a bit, but basically it's just south of Louisville, Bullitt County, on down to Bowling Green, and then Owensboro across to Danville. It's 21 counties, and takes about 3 hours to drive across this district. I was the nominee back in 2018. I'm the Democrat. I've had the endorsement of Indivisible, and so those of you that are watching because you found me on Indivisible, greetings, my friends, my brothers, my sisters. I'm glad to have you here. So yeah, take a quick look. This is my backyard, and I've set up the 360-degree camera so you can get a view of what I see. This is on my deck. And those of you that used to watch the broadcast before when I was in the backyard, that's where I would sit always. So there's the house. I think this 360-degree view is pretty cool. Anyway, that's where I'm at. But here's where I'm at now. I'm here in my secret undisclosed location in Falls of Rough, Kentucky. Got a lot to talk about today. And I have to tell you, I view it as a privilege that I get to speak with you every day, Monday through Friday, here at 3:30 at Central, 3:30 Central, 4:30 Eastern. Mary Richardson's here, Nancy is here. Please do us a favor and share. It's a privilege, but there are times when it's difficult to collect my thoughts because sometimes the things I'm thinking about are so awful. The things that are going on in the United States right now are just so unprecedented and so unexpected, and they keep getting worse and worse. So today was a bit of a tough day. And I ended up writing a couple of speeches, and one of them I'll share with you at the very, very end, and it's called Calling All Patriots. But let's look at some numbers. This is part of our duty here as we pay attention to what's going on in the United States. This is from worldometers.info. Reggie Helm is here. Howdy do. Reggie's from up there in Owensboro. These are the numbers from yesterday. 62,879 new cases with 545 deaths. And believe it or not, the amount of cases appear to be dropping a little bit, which is a great thing, but we do not nearly have this under control. We are still, unfortunately, number one in the world with total amount of cases, the amount of new cases, the amount of deaths. It's really rough. We're looking at the states from yesterday, and Florida has taken over the lead from Texas, but California has zipped into second place. So this is just probably the result of us opening up too soon, and probably the result of us not being careful enough. And we're also seeing some folks who believe it's okay to ignore the orders to wear masks or the requests to wear masks, and they're getting pretty ugly about it. And this is a very, very bad idea. This virus is going to get you if you aren't careful. And even if you are careful, it could get you. Which reminds me, by the way, this Thursday, we're going to have a special guest who's going to appear on a phone call. His name is Dr. Greg Adams. Greg is a microbiologist and a surgeon from Santa Clara County, California. He has been an instructor at Stanford University, which is one of the leading universities in the world, not just the United States. Paul is here. I'm glad you're here, Paul. Paul, please do us a huge favor and share this so that your Facebook friends get to see it. We are doing our best to get this message out, and your help makes a tremendous amount of difference. In fact, we all really need to chip in to make a difference in our country, and that's what I'm going to be talking about at the end of this. Anyway, let's go back to these numbers. We also are going to get a look at Kentucky from yesterday. Now remember, day before yesterday, Kentucky had its #1 worst day of largest amount of new cases, just short of 1,000. And yesterday, apparently, only 253. It's still 253 people who'd just as soon not be sick, and only 1 death. But because the numbers are fluctuating a little bit wildly, and also because we have a little bit of concern about what the White House is going to do with the way they report the numbers, we don't really trust any particular number. But we are able to see some trends, and but the volatility is concerning. This chart is from, I found it at nakedcapitalism.com, nakedcapitalism.com, one of my favorite websites that I rely on, and I strongly suggest you go there, and it's one of the best comment sections on the web, maybe the best, and they provide me with a lot of information that I don't always agree with, or opinion that I don't always agree with, but it's very stimulating. Anyway, they are reproducing a chart that came from Johns Hopkins. And what this shows to us is just how severe things have gotten in Florida, Texas, and California. Notice to the left, that's New York, when New York was at its peak back in April. And already Texas and Florida, in terms of new cases per day, has already exceeded New York. And California looks like we might see California jump over as well. Now there's another even more disturbing chart I want to show you. This is a chart that shows R1. This is the average number of people who become infected by an infectious person. If R1 is above 1.0, then the virus will spread quickly. Red is bad. And look all the way over at the right. Kentucky is the one that's furthest into the red. So Kentuckians, folks in the 2nd District, Kentuckians, please take care of yourselves. Wear that mask, wash your hands, really work on staying socially distant. It's really, really important. Okay, let's get on to some news. Now this is John Kasich, who's the ex-governor of Ohio. He's a Republican, and look at this. He's going to be speaking at the Democratic National Convention on behalf of Joe Biden. And as you might imagine, this is a pretty unusual development for a former Republican governor to be speaking on behalf of the Democratic nominee while there's a Republican president in office. But it's significant because it's going to take Republicans breaking ranks with this terrible president. This guy is a danger to the Republic, and it's going to take Republicans stepping up and putting their country ahead of their party. And so I call on Republican patriots to do the same. It's time to, look, Joe Biden is not AOC. Joe Biden is not Bernie Sanders. And, you know, I'm progressive, and I wanted Bernie Sanders to be the nominee. I want Joe Biden. My concern with him is he'll be too moderate. And we've got so many problems that we really need some active attempts, active approaches at dealing with the problems we face. Our medical system, working people don't get paid enough. It costs far too much to go to college. And then, of course, there's damage that we've done to the climate and what we're going to do to deal with that. Is Joe Biden the right guy for that? I don't know if he'll be able to deal with all these things that progressives like me want. But he will certainly not be the danger to the republic that Donald Trump is. So Republicans, if you can bear to do it, this is a time when you need to abandon your party. And while you're at it, you need to decide not to vote for Mitch McConnell. You need to decide not to vote for Brett Guthrie. That's the guy I'm running against. These guys are at the root of the problems in Kentucky and in the United States. Anyway, let me move back here. So John Kasich has done that. And of course, as you might expect, there are some Democrats who are not very happy with this. They're complaining. They believe that there's no reason for John Kasich to be on display at the Democratic National Convention, which probably will be largely online. And so he'll just be speaking probably something like a television show or a Zoom meeting. But I want to say to my fellow Democrats, let's take yes for an answer, please. Let's let Republicans who are willing to cut Donald Trump loose, let's let them help, okay? We all need to put our country above our party right now. Here's some shocking news. The Ohio State Speaker of the House, so this is for the state legislature in Ohio, Larry Householder has been arrested in a $60 million bribery case. This is just breaking. This is what corruption looks like. This is completely illegal corruption, and my understanding is federal officials are already there getting ready to arrest, if they haven't already arrested him. It looks like they may have already arrested him. There's going to be more to come on that story. Well, I guess it's time for me to share my thoughts that I had that I was struggling with today. Before I do, I want to tell you that it is very difficult sometimes to face into the problems that we as a nation are facing, but it still needs to be done. And so I'm going to be asking you all for help. And one of the ways you can help, of course, is to share this broadcast. That really makes a difference. It really helps. The other thing you can do is contribute. You can go to my website, which is at hankforkentucky.com. Let me see if I can show you that. You'll see over there on the left where my logo is, hank4ky.com. That's a big time way that you can help. Martine is here all the way from Paris. I'm glad to see that you're here, Martine. But it's deeper than that. We have a bigger problem facing us than we maybe have ever faced in our lifetimes. This seems worse to me than the Vietnam War, and that was very, very bad. So I'm going to share with you a picture of Jimmy Stewart as Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith goes to Washington, which we were raised on this idea of belief in our country and belief in doing the right thing, and that all we needed was decent citizens in our government, and that could make a difference. The movie, I'm going to watch it again, but I remember the movie inspiring me quite some time ago. Well, have a look at Jimmy Stewart while I read this to you. I haven't read this in public before, so just consider this a practice. Oh, by the way, John Rogers says, okay, great. The Barron County Democratic Party Thursday has been moved to August. See you then. John, I hope that's an invitation. John, I hope you're inviting me. Anyway, here we go. Calling all patriots. These are terrible times. The litany of daily disasters wears us down. The failure of leadership to control a pandemic, the assault on our liberties, the lying, the cheating, the endless whining by the most powerful man on earth has left us wondering, is this how America dies? How long will we allow a psychopath with daddy issues to dismantle the Constitution, to allow hundreds of thousands of Americans to die unnecessarily, to destroy the economy while he feathers his own nest? Calling all patriots. If you love your country, now's the time to make a stand. Now is the time to stand up against racism. Now's the time to fight for equality, not just for you and for yours, but for all Americans. You really want all lives to matter? Fine. That means Black lives must matter. Women's lives must matter. The lives of the poor must matter. The lives of the sick must matter. All lives must matter, but they do not yet. Now's the time to stand up against fascism. You thought it couldn't happen here, but we are seeing it happen in real time. We've watched in horror as American troops were used to tear gas peaceful protesters so that an immoral, corrupt, and failing leader could hold a Bible, a book he's never read, filled with wisdom he's never followed, in front of a church he's never attended. This week we are watching federal shock troops with no identification pull peaceful protesters off the streets in Portland and throwing them into unmarked vehicles. How long before protesters are disappeared? We've seen the police escalate confrontations again and again, demonstrations that were ignited by multiple murders of Black American citizens. You want America to be great again? Step one is to remove this president and his enablers in the Senate, his toadies in the House. America cannot be great until our government serves the people, we the people, with at least as much commitment as it serves the wealthy, the powerful, the corporations that buy politicians like the radically corrupt Mitch McConnell, the radically corrupt Brett Guthrie. These two have become wealthy while Kentucky languished. And that has just been peachy for their corporate contributors. They've all gotten richer, they've all gotten more powerful, and they all believe they are untouchable. Until now. Now we are seeing them for who they truly are. Corrupt, radical, and wrong. Wrong for Kentucky, wrong for America. They don't serve you. They serve their corporate PAC contributors. They serve their own greed. They might be willing to help you, but only if they and their friends can make a profit. This sort of thing may be legal, but it is corruption, and it cannot continue. It may be legal, but it is wrong for our leaders to enrich themselves while Kentuckians suffer. Now, you can make a difference. You can help set America back on track. You can change the world. You only need to get involved, to become a patriot, to do the things which must be done to save our nation. This is because you, the people, we the people, have the ultimate power. Mitch McConnell and Brett Guthrie are not afraid of us. Well, they're not afraid of me. They're not afraid of any other politician, but they are afraid of us. They know that we, the people, can end their crooked game. But it's going to take every one of you listening to commit to making a difference. Will you be a patriot? Will you decide to make a difference today, tomorrow, until we have thrown out Trump, McConnell, and Guthrie? This is the challenge I face every day. It's the challenge we all need to face. The soul of our nation is at stake. Calling all patriots. All right. Thank you all for being here. We've got so many things to talk about through the week, through the coming weeks. Now, tomorrow I'm going to go to Louisville. I'm going to be interviewed for a radio show, and it's not one that'll be broadcast live. I'll let you know once that happens, though. So, provided it's not too rainy, I'm planning on being live from outside of Odeon, my friends, Chris and Adam, who are over there on Story Avenue. So if you want to come by, I'll be at Odeon tomorrow, right around 4 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Central, and I'll go live again, 3:30 Central, 4:30 Eastern. Thank you all so much. Let's say goodbye to Mr. Smith, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Take care.